There's a
and it works.
tendency, I think, from both sides, to be honest, from the security team, but also from the business side and executive leadership, to want to throw product at the problem, to basically say,
Yep.
buy this, implement this, all the marketing tells me it's going to do the job. How on both sides do you avoid falling into that trap? Because I think security teams can do it too. And I think leadership teams just don't want to have to bother all that much and figure that can just take care of it. So, how do you kind of get beyond that instinct to look at a purchase that can be made to lock it all
Yeah.
down?
And it's interesting that you asked that, because if you talk to the vendors, these purchases take forever. It takes so
Yeah.
long for us to get all this figured out. Excuse me. And then if we go talk to the executives, they also think it takes a lot of time to figure out. So this is a problem I've been dealing with for about 6 years now. And one of the things that I noticed is we don't ask enough simple to ask questions that are hard to answer. And then we don't rest with the answers. So, you'll tell me that you're in this particular quadrant or this category of the market and you do X. Cool. I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm being facetious, of course, but I like to ask a really simple question. What problem do you solve? And then my follow-up question is, so what value do you create? But my third question is, what's your impact? And the impact is looking at friction. If I have to rip and replace a lot of stuff to put your solution in, I'm going to create a lot of friction. The problem with friction is it erodes value, it destroys trust, and it burns people out. So the reason we tend to get these things wrong is we didn't stop to say, in our environment, what problem are we trying to solve? So that when we look at the vendors and say, hey, what problem are you trying to solve, or what problem do you solve? We then don't necessarily have the qualifiers to say, cool, this is how people are doing their jobs. This is what would make it easier. Oh, we might know I'm on a particular certain type of architecture or a certain rev level, or I have a certain need, or etc. Cool. How do people do their jobs? And I would say in 2020, a lot of people, how they did their jobs radically changed. And I don't know how much of that is going to shift back to what we had before. So the good news for us in security is asking that question. I think as long as it doesn't make people feel bad or self-conscious, I think we're going to get a lot of insights, and we got a chance to do a lot better. But it comes down to, at its core, really defining the problem that we want to solve. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. And this is a related tangent. So it's a tangent, but it's related. I'll keep it tight. Every time I come across somebody who opines that we have a shortage and there's nothing we can do about it, and they can't get the help that they need, my first question is, well, cool, what's the problem that you're trying to solve? And once we get past the whole, well, I got to hire somebody, right? To do what? What problem do you need this person to be able to solve? It's normally deadpan. Oh, well, security? No. What problem are they going to solve? What value do you need them to create for your team? How will you measure it? And what does that success look like? And if you can't answer those questions, it's tough to find the right person for your team. It's tough to find the right technical solution. It's tough to implement that technical solution. Think about this. Most of these projects, you push super hard, you get the PO, you get it signed, you kick off, people show up. And usually within 1 to 2 weeks, you get these what I call boomerang decisions. They're in the meeting and they go, okay, sounds good. And then a week later, I've been thinking about it. I don't think we can do that. Then they kind of duck out of the next meeting. Then they don't really respond to the email. Then that thing you really needed to get it done, yeah, that's not coming forward for them. Why?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't understand the problem you're trying to solve. They don't see
Yeah.
where it fits. They don't see their role in it. They don't understand. There's no map. No map? How are you going to get there?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. The good news is solving some of this is simpler than it seems. The challenge is also the environment's constantly changing. We're constantly overwhelmed. Everything's a priority, which means nothing's a priority. And if you got 99 plates spinning in the air, which ones can you afford to let drop? And can you start up new ones? What are you actually getting finished? That's where the challenge to all of this comes in.